morning, everyone, and welcome to the Everett Mills. We're proud and delighted to have you here in this incredible space this morning. And as Susan said, my grandmother did work in this mill, in the Everett Mills. I'm the third generation to be engaged in the Everett Mills. And each of us with a different, each of us have brought something different to that experience and bring something forward from our experiences. When my grandmother arrived in Lawrence in 1910, she came to work in the Everett Mills for a short time. And that was a story that we never knew. And many of us in this room probably have members of our family who never shared their stories of working in the mills for a variety of reasons. Maybe it was that they were painful. It was not a good time for people. Maybe it was because even though they had done incredible and brave things by participating in the strike, that when the strike ended, the community really changed its understanding of what it meant and of that story and how that story was brought into the future. So for many of us here, this is an opportunity to re-engage with those stories and to make those stories from 100 years ago our own. We found out that my grandmother had worked here in 1981 when my father purchased the Everett Mill. He had been involved in real estate and manufacturing in the Merrimack Valley. And he went to tell his mother that he had bought this building, and unknowing to him that she had once worked here. And that was an incredible moment for him to be a second generation engaged in changing what the idea of mills could be. So it was his vision to continue to have many businesses in these mills. It was a vision that was carried out by many owners of properties and mill properties around the city. That there could be manufacturing businesses like Polo and Southwick and Bugle Boy and Cardinal Shoe in these mills, providing jobs for people in the city, but that these mills could also be places for technology companies, for office space, for creative space. And so that is what has happened and grown over the last 30 years. In 1986, I joined my father working here at the mill, and I became involved with a wonderful group of people that were getting ready to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Bread and Roses strike. It's hard for me to believe that 25 years have passed, and that I must have just been maybe 10 or 5 even when I got involved with that. But then our vision was again to engage in the story of what the mills could be and what this story could be. And it was the beginning of the Heritage State Park, of the renovations around Canal Street that we're still engaged with now as we look to see what's the vision of the canal and what can that mean to this community? What can we do to the downtown? And I'm struck by one other idea and how we participate with the idea of the 1912 strike. The strike was really about collective action. People from all different nationalities and all different languages coming together to push one idea and vision forward. And here every day, there are people coming together, whether they're business owners or people who work in nonprofits or people engaged in churches or educational institutions or businesses coming together to move forward an agenda, a positive agenda, and one filled with hope for this city. So I hope this space will be a place where people can engage in that memory, engage in the vision that we have now, and engage in moving the city forward. So welcome, and come back and visit us often.